Yeah, I'm glad you asked about Mira Sorvino. She would be great, probably the best of all choices. Uh, she has the face, uh, recognition. She's easily recognizable. I think when you read Tobit and then look at the uh, work Miss Sorvino's done, they mesh. It's plausible, lots of charisma. I mean, the mighty Aphrodite. Wow. Uh, and look at that. That was a long time ago. I understand that. But uh, the character of Sarah has been married 7 times, 7 Jewish weddings. And every time a demon uh, comes and kills her new husband, he lets the wedding take place. She's married, and then he kills the groom. Sometimes in the tent, sometimes walking across the parking lot, leaving the wedding hall. The marriages are never consummated. So she's no spring chicken. Uh, and, you know, uh, there are tons of actresses that could do the part. 30 to 40 years old, I guess would be ideal. I mean, 7 weddings, how long does it take? Uh, yeah, Mia Sorvino would be awesome. Great. Uh, she is a client of Kris Heller, and who also handles Mel Gibson. Now, think about that. Uh, Mira Sorvino and Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson would play Tobit, and she could play Sarah. Uh, if you're not familiar with the story of Tobit, it's in Catholic and Orthodox Bibles. It's part of the Jewish lore. Uh, Tobit is a pious Jew, and Sarah is a Jewish would-be wife, but a demon keeps messing things up. Yeah, Mia Sorvino, and I hope Kris Heller can see that. It would sure be uh, good for Mel Gibson, good for all the parties involved. Sure, I pitched this to Mel Gibson's people. I don't know if it will uh, bridge the celebrity moat. I think a lot of people that work for Mel Gibson don't even know him. He's Mel Gibson is the most popular and well-known Catholic actor in Hollywood. Uh, he is a religious soul, and he would be great to play the role of Tobit. I think if he knew about this project, he would be eager. Uh, Tobit, as far as I know, has never been made into a feature film. There's animations and short depictions of the story. Uh, there's a silent film from like 1923, but it's so obscure, and I bet some of the people watching your interview uh, aren't even familiar with the story. Let me summarize it for you. It's 8 Jewish weddings and 7 funerals. Uh, it's about a woman named Sarah, and she's haunted by a demon, and she gets married 7 times, and the weddings are never consummated. Uh, a demon, Asmodeus, kills the groom before the marriage can be consummated. They never reach the wedding bed. He's killed in the parking lot, or sometimes, in the tent, standing exactly where he was married. So the girl is haunted, and after 7 times, um, she's ridiculed even by the maid. Their family maid makes fun of her, and she thinks about suicide. She prays to God, get me out of this deal, uh, for God to come take her life. At the same time, far away, a Tobit also prays to die. He's been blinded. He can't take care of his wife and son. He's accustomed to being successful in life. But, he's up in his 80s, so, but he doesn't want to stop taking care of his family. And he's depressed. God's not going to take either one of them. God sends an angel to escort Tobit's son, Toba, or Toby, however you want to pronounce it. One of the reasons I found this story is because there was a big debate on the internet whether Toby was a religious name. It is to Catholics and Orthodox Christians. And it comes from the story. And everybody knows someone named Toby, or their dog was named Toby, or their cat. It's a popular name. Well, it comes from the Bible. It comes from this story. Tobit, the father, sends Toby to a banker to collect some money. Tobit put some money away when he was young and forgot about it. So he sends his son to go fetch the money. Gabriel, the angel Gabriel, shows up and escorts Toby to pick up the money. On the way, they meet Sarah, the woman who's been haunted by the demon. And Toby is a little apprehensive. I mean, would you date a woman whose 7 previous boyfriends or husbands had suddenly passed? Suddenly, a demon murder violently. So Toby is a little apprehensive about falling in love and marrying the girl, but Raphael, the angel, persuades him, no, it'll be okay. Don't worry about it. And I don't want to ruin the end of the film for you, but I wrote it just like it appears in the Bible. I mean, I guess in a regular Bible, it's 8-10 pages, but I took each verse and wrote a scene. Now I have changed it from the Jews that were living in northern Israel were kidnapped and taken to Mesopotamia, which is somewhere between the Tigris and Euphrates River in modern day Iraq. And that's where the story is. I don't think anybody's going to they don't want to watch a film that's set about 3,500 years ago. So I set it in the 1930s, right before the German invasion of Holland. It's set in Amsterdam. There's a large Jewish community in Amsterdam, and it's historically accurate. They were carted off to concentration camps by the Nazis, and there was a rebellion against the Nazis. And I think, everyone who is familiar with the book of Tobit from their Bible will know how it ends. Of course, it's right there in print. So I changed the setting, and I guess the question is, well, okay, Tobit's going to die. he's 80 years old, and we don't live forever. So everybody in the audience, even those that haven't read the Bible, are going to realize, well, someday he'll die. The question is, where will he die? Will he die in his bed, or will he die in a concentration camp? So that big question hangs over the whole movie. He's a very likable guy. He is one of the most likable guys in the entire Bible. He's pious, prays constantly, gives good advice, is very knowledgeable, a very smart individual, and knows how to live. I mean, that's why it's in the Bible, because he gives such good advice. So Tobit is the father-in-law of the bride. Okay, marketing. This could be really huge. There are 1.3 billion Catholics, many speak English, around the world, and Orthodox Christians also know and study Tobit. And there's about 280 million Orthodox Christians in Greece, Eastern Europe, Russia, Ukraine, Serbia. So you add all that up, and it's 1.5 billion moviegoers, potential viewers. So the market is huge. There's never been a Tobit film. There's a silent, and there's some animation, and there's some short depictions, and it's probably because of the anti-Catholic bias. I asked a priest why they'd never made a movie, and he said, well, there's always been a bias. But it's not necessarily a Catholic story. I mean, Tobit is Jewish. Sarah is Jewish. They're Jewish weddings. And what's at stake are the Jews, because of the occupation, the Nazi German occupation of Amsterdam. So, yeah, I think Mel Gibson would be a great choice. You know, there's been some questions about how Mel Gibson feels about Jewish domination of Hollywood. I think that may be a little blown out of proportion. I have heard Mel Gibson speak fondly of Jews, and he speaks often from the Old Testament. You have to understand that all the characters, all the major characters in the Old Testament are ethnic Jews chosen by God to go to Israel. And I don't think he's ever denied that. I mean, fervent Christians are friendly with the Jewish community. And so I think the film would be great for his career, great for him personally, and profitable. Let's be honest. Tobit could be a huge film. Mel Gibson made movies about the Old Testament, 2 movies, The Passion of the Christ and the Resurrection of the Christ, but he's not unaware of the Old Testament. I think he'd be open to it. If we can just get these people around him to open their eyes to this opportunity, I think Mel Gibson would jump at the chance to play Tobit. A casting director, I talked to her. She said, this is Academy Award material. And I agree. It's so far from Mel Gibson's previous work experiences. He could be easily redeemed. He could really break a leg and knock it out of the ballpark. Because, when you read Tobit, read the script, read the Bible, and look at Mel Gibson. I think he was made for this part. And thanks for calling. I appreciate that.